We have ex-boyfriends. We have ex-husbands. We have ex-wives. We have ex, whatever. But we don't have ex-children. Welcome back to Corona. I hope everyone is well and is well rested and still taking precautions with this corona and the third wave, which is like at the background threatening to cause chaos and all kind of mess. Today I was talking to a friend in the morning about how to deal with pain. And I'll direct this to women, and especially to women who are mothers, who find themselves being mothers. It can be through divorce, it can be being a single parent. Sometimes women, they are so soaked so much in the pain of a failed relationship. They are so soaked so much in the rejection they experience in the relationship or the marriage which fell apart, and their main focus become about them soaking themselves in the pain, and they neglect their children emotionally, psychologically, any way that you want to call it. Because you find that the mother is a single parent. She is so much consumed on hustling for her children, making sure that they have a roof over their head. Yes, some may find a financial support from their exes, and trying to find balance of them finding themselves being single and becoming a single parent. I think these are two dynamics which cannot be mixed, but they are together. A person needs to know how to differentiate them. You find that the mother, it becomes all about her. It becomes all about her pain, how she wants to cope with her finding herself in that situation, the techniques that she may use for her to cope. And people cope with pain and rejection in different ways. You may find others, they become too churchy. Some, they become too friends. They're all over the place. They're attending every function and everything. Some, they put their head in their careers and their books. Some become so much into alcohol. Some, they want to prove a point that I am single, you left me, and I'm still happening. And some, they get more into toxic relationship one after another. And mothers don't realize the impact it has on the children. And the children will only talk about it later, if they get that opportunity to talk about it. I'm trying to find words to put it in a way that a parent now needs to realize that they've lost. There's no way. We have ex-boyfriends. We have ex-husbands. We have ex-wives. We have ex, whatever. But we don't have ex-children. We don't have ex-children. So whatever, I understand that the dynamics of the breakup of the marriage or the relationship might be so much that the person don't know how to deal with it. But in the process, don't lose your children. And that kind of neglect, it's not easily visible. because it's an emotional one. You find that you don't talk much about the issues that your child or your children put on the table, the concerns, even if they don't talk, but you don't observe and get to know your children. The struggles that you are going through, you are chasing for your children to get the best grades. If they're girls, for them not to get pregnant. But do you really know what is happening in your children's lives? As human beings, as individuals, who they are as they may be at their teenage years, who they are as teenagers, as boys, as girls, as the hormones are changing, the questions and the confusion that they have. And that's where you find a parent will end up losing her children in a way that later when that she can't relate to her children, because some kids, they can forgive a parent, but some kids, they hold on to that grudge, they hold on to that pain that you were not there for me, you didn't see me, you never stood for me, you never fought for me. And they carry it to the adulthood, and you find that the parent is surprised. I did my best. I put roof under your head. I put food on the table. I gave you the best education that I knew how to. I walked around without clothes or sometimes or fashion or whatever. But children needs to be emotionally adjusted and emotionally healthy for them to balance their career and everything, social life and their mind. And yes, my mind is so full of words and I'm trying to put them together and they are just coming flooding in so fast. Single parents have, I'm not saying children born in a home where both parents are there, they are perfect. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying there's a danger of being a single parent and you get so consumed in your pain. You get consumed by the rejection that you experience, that you neglect to these people who are relying on you, these people now who are looking at you. You find comfort in other things and you neglect your children. People think neglecting children is about not giving them food or not leaving them alone or exposing them to certain situation, whatever dangerous situation. No, here I'm talking about neglecting your children emotionally, psychologically. Your kids need to know that they're safe with you. Your kids need to know that they have a safe place with you as their mother. It needs to stop where your pain, no matter how much it is, which is bit unfair, yes, I know. But your kids' well-being must come first. If you have to find healing, if you have to consult professional help or any help that you can find for you to be able to deal with the pain, the regrets that you have, calculating this minus this, the rejection that you feel, the time that you feel you wasted. Forgive yourself so that you can heal and look at these kids. And it's very difficult also for the kids when you are not there for them emotionally, when you are not there for them psychologically, and you want to move on with your life and you bring another person into their lives, you want to have a spouse. But that part of fulfilling your children emotionally is lacking. It's not that your kids don't want you to have a partner. It's not that your kids don't want you to be happy. But now, how are you gonna juggle? You are struggling to be there for them emotionally and psychologically. Now you want to bring a spouse into the picture. How are you gonna balance that? How are you gonna balance them? Which means the other one will get more neglect and the other one will get more focus. Sometimes I wish single parents, they can be single parents who have never married, single parents because of divorce. They can also be single parents because of the death of a spouse, because sometimes some people can't recover. They struggle to recover from the death of their spouse, and they immerse themselves in so much pain of losing their spouse, they forget their children. It's not that your kids don't want you to move on, but put your children emotional being and psychological being as a priority before you want to take another leap of faith to get a spouse, to try on the love land for you. So you are bringing another dimension in the relationship that you are struggling to maintain. Your kids are gonna resent you. I think if kids were really asked and they are honest about it, it's not that they don't want the parents to move on and get spouses. Because the problem is that when kids grow up, the parent is left alone and the kids go and have their life outside, and their parent is left alone, lonely and everything, and it becomes the responsibility of the children to check on their parent now and again. But it would be ideal for the parent to have a spouse, but it would be better for you to get a spouse when your children, you have covered the part of emotional and psychological being of your children. It must not become about you. Kids cannot even come to you, even if when they're older, and talk about their life experiences. The minute they talk about their struggles, you start to talk about me also. I went through this happened to me. Hey, no, when are you gonna heal? When are you gonna heal? Your adult child may be coming to you to say, hey, this is what I'm going through my relationship. You bringing up your own things which happened so decades ago or whatever, 18 or years ago. This is not a criticism. This is I love my group of friends who are single, who are very honest, and we talk about this, and those who were raised by single parents, because these are the issues that we talk about, and these are the issues that our parents are not willing to hear, and they are not emotionally matured to hear such things. And even if you bring it up, they don't have answers. They don't have answers. The minute you become a parent, yes, you matter, but your children must matter. Taking care of your children, it's not only the physical things, the roof over their head, whatever, going to school, but to know that you've got their back. To know that you have time to get to know them as individuals. To know that if somebody comes and accuses your child of something, you get to ask them their side of the story. And not just lash on the child. Not for you to come back from work because you are frustrated, the finances are what and what, things are not coming together. Then you are shouting. You shout over small things which don't make sense. You shout when an aunt is passing, you are shouting. One thing that people don't realize or we don't want to admit is that the partner that we have, we chose them knowing very well. And when relationships don't work, you knew from the beginning. I still say it, and I will repeat it over and over and over again. Maybe it's 0.111% of a person who didn't know this relationship is not going to work. The red flags were there even before you married, and you decided to have children with this person. A woman cannot tell me that pregnancy is a mistake, because every woman, the minute she get a cycle, she menstruates. Anytime you sleep with a man, it's a possibility of having babies. Then you will have babies with this person. Then you get married, one child, the marriage is a mess. Then you decide to have a second child. Then you have a third or whatever children. And children don't repair relationship. Children do not repair marriage. If you are out there, you're a single parent, and it's not too late, your kids are still fresh and everything, I advise you to get counseling. If you have to go for counseling alone, do it alone, and also do go with your children so you get to understand them. Get to know the pain that they're going through by this separation now, finding themselves with one parent. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening, and I hope you're taking care of yourself, not just physically, not just whatever condition that we find ourselves in, medically or whatever. But if it finds us in a healthy space, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, whatever that you want to call it, it's easy for your body to cope. But if your diseases are coming in and your head, it's a mess, everything is chaotic, it's gonna be a disaster. And like I said, just love yourself a little bit more. Just a little bit more.